So you literally are, I'm going to call it the non-league Anelka.
Trust me.
You were, I wouldn't say not on his game. His game was more Adriano, I would say, just from times I've played against him. I've trained with him. He's the pin man, strong, left foot, back.
So now it's time. Everybody shows up, no excuses. And you guys are gone from just happy to be there, just happy to challenge, happy to do this. Right? You're now at a state where.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Top Cinco Pod. Thank you for the likes, the follows, the shares, the subscribes so far. We seem to be growing week after week, views and all of that as well. So I appreciate it all. If you can continue to do so, new viewers and all of that, make sure you subscribe. And that's at Top Cinco Pod. And we are on TikTok, we are on Instagram, and we're on YouTube as well. So make sure you show love and keep continuing to support. This week, new guest. As you can see, I've got my boy Dents with me, Coach Dents, as he's also known. And we go way back in terms of when we first met, when I was a scholar at Oxford United. This guy was also there at Oxford United as well, doing his own little coaching program, development thing there, and crossed paths and stayed in touch pretty much ever since. But it's been a while since we linked up, and you know he's been following the pod, been showing love, been appreciating. So welcome, Dents, mate. Welcome. Thank you for coming, bro. How are things, mate? And
Good, man. Good to see you doing your thing, man. Obviously, I've seen you've been doing it since the season started. So yeah, man. Nice to be here. Thanks for the invite. No worries. You should be fine.
Stay calm.
I'm not sure you guys have got the mentality to do it because everything you do is extremist, man.
Praise, brother. Of course. Obviously, you're probably wondering, Coach Dents, what does he do? Where has he been? Well, obviously, he is into his football coaching since he was at Oxford United when I met him. I'll just run through his CV quite quick, if I can, because he's got quite a long one. This guy, bro, honestly, journeyman in terms of coaching already. He's a journeyman footballer as well, but we'll touch on that real quick afterwards. So I've got down here where it all kind of started after, Oxford United was Oxford United. Then you went to Cheltenham, yeah. You was doing bits there with the under-12s team. After Cheltenham, you went to Oxford City. You were doing bits at Oxford City. Bristol City is also on there. I'm just going to reel off the clubs. After that, at Oxford City, his spell took him to Arsenal, big club, Arsenal Football Club. So that must have been sick. Just give us a brief,
So we were doing so a good friend of mine, Kieran, he was running Arsenal soccer schools. Okay. So we'd go over. We stay over for long periods of time in different places, like private schools and stuff like that. Kids would come over from abroad. Oh, okay. We'd coach them up, give them like a week, the Arsenal way, do you know what I mean? Coaching sessions like that. And then they'd obviously fly back out that afternoon. Okay. So they come out for a week, go and have a tour of the Emirates, and then they go home. Oh, decent.
Crazy, so where were you doing all of that kind of training as well? Was that obviously based in
loads of different places? No, loads of different private schools around the country, to be fair. Like
private schools?
Yeah.
Oh, you're moving bougie.
Yeah, to be fair, they had a good program set up. So we'd stay over, kids and that would have they'd be able to do residentials, train, gym. So it's like life of a pro for them. Oh, they get to train and all the rest, see what it's like, but they'd be flying over from Dubai and places like that. So put kids with money.
Were they any good? What were the players like?
Some were. So there were some, and I think that was mainly part of the process for it. Is if there were good kids, you could signpost and kind of send them over. I know that Arsenal had some programs abroad as well, and there were different programs abroad. So you could send them to that program, and they could be a part of that, and then potentially find their way back over here.
Okay. So it was a decent little stepping stone for them. So obviously after talking about the big club Arsenal, we then go over to, what was it? You did a little bit at Hungerford actually. Yeah. Academy manager there. Yeah. And you were there for over a year. What was that like?
So it was like a football education academy. So the boys 16 to 19, a lot like the Oxford United program we met on.
We met on.
Yeah. So I was basically like a Rich Blackmore, looking after the whole academy, making sure the boys had everything that they needed, Making sure that they got good pathways, good connections with non-league,
Yeah.
all of those little bits, developing them.
So did you enjoy it? What was it like having? Because that sounds like quite a lot of responsibility. So what was that like being?
No, it's daunting, man, because you're dealing with people's kids. Do you know what I mean? You
Yeah.
have to make sure that they get the best out of everything. So
Of course.
making sure that they had what they needed. Do you know what I mean? Making sure that I looked after them.
Yeah.
Like providing pathways for the ones who had a chance. Do you know what I mean? We were able to do that, so it's good.
Were there ones that you could tell? I wouldn't say from the jump, but like months in that you'd be like probably not going to be at that level, or were there players, or would it be like a level playing field? It's when we get to the finish line that we really judge and see.
I feel with football and education courses, like that's 90% of kids is you're not going to kick on and go and do anything in the pro game, but you might have a chance of having a successful non-league career. You might have a chance of being able to get the grades that will take you to college, where beforehand you wouldn't have gone to college or university, for example. So people go out to America, they go out to universities, all off the back of jumping on these courses. So we're effectively taking a large percentage of kids who wouldn't achieve without it and putting them back on a level playing field with kids who go and get their A-levels and go and jump in.
So that sounds quite satisfying. So for you, is that something that you enjoy as a coach? Is that like something that gives you pride and joy knowing that you've worked with these players and now they're going onto these different platforms?
I think it's just nice to help. Do you know what I mean? It's nice to know that you've done something that has positively impacted them. Do you know what I mean? Help them kick on, and if they've gone and achieved something, or if they've gone and moved on to do something well, take good pride in knowing that their life is better than when you met them. Do you know what I mean?
That makes a lot of sense. So after Hungerford, we then touch on Reading briefly, because you worked there, and how long were you there at Reading? And
so I was at Reading for best part of 6 years, coming up to 7 years it was. So I did a lot of roles there. I worked from under 11s right the way through to being full-time 15s. Saw a lot of players, man. Saw a lot of players. Yeah. And
definitely. Is there any players that you worked with or seen there that are now moving on, or have touched the first team, or maybe made moves? Because Reading's like a revolving door. It's a bit of a mess of a club right now. Let's be real.
So when I come in at 11s, I think the group of young lads that are playing now were 11s when I was there. So your Ashkar Ahmeds, Andre Garcia would have been a year below that. Manu Osho, Tyler Saki. So those players would have been under 11s when I came in.
Touching, so and doing bits.
And then obviously there's a whole heap of players that have gone before them. Like, to be fair, it's been a good environment for those young players to kind of challenge for first team places.
Would you say that Reading was a good club for these young players? They gave them a good platform? Because from when I was younger, Reading was always a very difficult academy to then kick on and then progress into the first team. When we was around the age, and you're the same age, so like back then, it's only over the last since the financial problems and all that kind of stuff, where the academy boys have kicked on, and plus the academy status is quite high, right? They play in the Premier. They did play.
I think it's still Cat 1. So still Cat 1. So play against some of the top clubs, and do you know what I mean? Held to that standard. So I think that because naturally, if there's chaos, there's opportunity. So I think that because do you know what I mean? Because I think that because of the problems, it's then provided a greater opportunity. But because then you've got a high enough cat status in terms of your academy, those players are capable of filling the void. So they're getting their chances, but I think they're taking them as well. It's not just that they're getting them.
They're making. I read they've made money from them as well. Which
it's a credit to the boys. Do you know what I mean? That they're capable of being able to be called upon and stepped up, and they're most of them are quite young. So do you know what I mean?
They've done well. They've done well so far, and it seems to be something that's continuing at Reading as well. So I have to say, long may it continue. While they're in the mess that they're in, no one wants to see that. Like, obviously, your hometown for me, mad that went to Oxford and they were conference, and now they've overtaken championship now. So they're Oxford are now doing their thing, and they've got the bragging rights. Let's touch on your playing career real quick, and then we'll get it onto the real ballers. and not us.
Trust me.
Football career. So you literally are, I'm going to call it the non-league Anelka.
Trust me.
You were, I wouldn't say not on his game. His game was more Adriano, I would say, just from times I've played against him. I've trained with him. He's the pin man, strong, left foot, bang. What clubs did you play for,
bro?
Or some of the clubs?
We could be here forever going through like outside of that. Let's just say I started. Obviously, I had grassroots and that. Grew up a few teams there. When I was young, started at Bullingdon Boys. Moved on to Oxford Irish at a certain age. From there, I think I moved to Northway. Played there for a bit. Then went to St Ed's with Deck.
Man like Deck. Shout out. DRB.
Then me and him went to Oxford at the same time. So we both went to Oxford United at the same time. Spent a little bit of time there in the academy setup. Did really well. Ended up leaving quite early into my 16th year. And then after that, bro, it was literally just
non-league,
bro.
Door.
Yeah, non-league.
You probably played for all the Oxfordshire clubs, didn't you, boy?
No, I don't know about all of them. Like, I played for a lot though. Like a lot of the ones.
We linked up at Old Woodstock Town. So when I was a scholar, that they call it work experience. So I was sent out on loan. I think it was in maybe back end of my first season or second season. I can't really remember, but went out on loan there and played a few games. The vocal point, the pin man, as I said. At
that point, I think I've done a year there already. And like the transition from going from playing a lot of academy football to going into non-league, it wasn't one that I enjoyed. Okay. So like you go in and like, depending on what level you pitch it at will depend on kind of what level you go in and what the standards are within that level. And I've always found that at times, I enjoyed more like the professional side of football, being ready, being on time, doing this. Where you go into non-league, bro, it's a lot more of a social experiment, isn't it? Really, like as opposed to like a professional get together.
Of course.
People come, they've worked hard all week, they want to come and play football on a Saturday, enjoy themselves and have fun. Whereas for me, it was like the main thing. I wasn't putting as much energy into my 9 to 5 Monday to Friday as I was into the football. So kind of. At a young age, it was really difficult for me to kind of transition to that because the inconsistencies and stuff like that, I needed things to be
proper.
And I found, when it was, I had good times. Do you know what I mean? But but up and down. Non-league can be like that, man. You can have some good experience. I know people who've had brilliant experiences in non-league. I know some people who have had some, do you know what I mean, up and down. And I'm probably the same, man. There's been good ones, there's been some up and down ones, man. There's been some mad ones as well. Do you know what I mean?
If we were to talk about the mad ones, we'd be here all night. Because
all night.
I think as a striker, they have the maddest experiences because
big time.
Like when you're banging, everyone wants you hot from. It's like honestly, it is like when you're in like the professional game, like the top league. Like when strikers are banging, everyone wants a bit of you. Like they, you're the star attraction. Like you're the main man. You're gonna fire us to where we want to be. 100%. But then when you're not, or if your form dips, there's someone there quickly ready to replace you. So that's why it's very peak for strikers, but then they reap the rewards as well, and it's just like it in the big game. So
100%.
That's literally what it is. Now let's move on to obviously your coaching side of things. You're more of a Coach Dents. How long have you been doing Coach Dents?
So I've now been, I think we're coming up to the 10th year now. So this will be the 10th year of me kind of doing one-to-ones, performance coach, like the individualized stuff with players.
So that's what Coach Dent does. He's like your individual, like, I've got a son, I think he's got potential, send him to you, you're going to do one-on-one things with him and develop his game.
So we started doing that with older academy players, so players that were 16 to 19 originally.
Okay. Have you got some names for us? Can you name drop?
Without wanting to name drop, do you know what I mean?
Like,
I think that like when I started, it was I think the first ever session I did with a guy called Amr Awad, who was at Oxford City for a while in their college program, and I'd been helping out Oxford City for a little bit with the manager there, Mike Jones, and I just said to Mersey, I was like, look, come with me round about. We're going to do some little individual bits. And if I'm honest, if I look at the session I did then compared to the sessions I do now, quite cringy. But you kind of learn. It was something that I learned across the way. I'd just done my B. was applying for jobs left, right, and centre. Couldn't get a job at an academy.
Yeah.
So I was just like, do you know what? While I've got this stuff and I've got these ideas, let's just put them on for people and see who comes. And I think quite quickly, I think my first pro player was again, I call him a kid, but he's a man now. A player called Josh Barrett, who was at Reading.
Yeah, he was supposed to be like one of the next big things at Reading.
He was the next big thing, bro. Josh had ability, man.
Yeah,
proper ability. The things
I heard man talk about him.
The things he would do in sessions, the things I saw him do in games, right, and the things he's still doing now playing.
Yeah,
like
where's he playing now?
He's playing at Aldershot, so he's over at Aldershot at the moment, which decent level, but still some of the moments of quality that he brings to games. The things that he can do with a football, the way he leads with his talent, it's remarkable.
So you're saying he's a very talented player. So that all that hype was justified. You've seen it
up there.
Anyone else that you would say that you've worked with that you're like levels?
And then along the way, it's been a load of different like young pro players in the area. So there are players that are out there playing pro now who might have come for a pre-season, might have come and done some regular stuff, and now out there doing their things. Recently working with young players that have been in the ranks at Reading. So Calvin Ehibati, he's now playing on the wing over there. Number 9, he plays out on the wing.
I've seen clips of you and him, but he looked sharp. He's lanky.
Calvin can finish, man. He can finish. Nelson Abbey as well, young centre half who was playing at Reading and was captain before he left. At Swansea on loan, but he's at Olympiacos. He's at Swansea.
He was doing up Greece.
He did Greece. They won Conference League.
So he went there, got a Conference League medal.
Do you know what I mean? And now he's over on loan at Swansea at the moment. But no, Nelson's he's another one who has developed a lot over a short period of time. And do you know what I mean? He's doing really well. Yeah. I couldn't be more proud of the progress that he's making, and
that's it.
Kind of how his growth
that you've worked with. So it's not just strikers. You work with all positions.
Yeah, all positions.
Apart from goalkeeper.
There's been some work with some goalkeepers, not necessarily something that I try and specialise in. I probably, do you know what I mean, bring other people in to help them with their goalkeeping, but from a physical aspect and things like that, there'll be some work that I would do with them. Yeah, 100%.
That's it. So you can cater.
Yeah,
which is very good. Thank you for sharing that as well.
Good, man.
Obviously interesting, the players that you've worked with, players you've developed, and there's probably more as well.
Yeah. I don't want to name too many now, but at the same time, there's some young ones that I'm proud of, man. They're doing well, they're out there and they're working out.
Are there any that you're tipping to be stars in the next 1 to 2 years?
Bro, no pressure on no one, man. They've got this, man.
Okay.
They've got this, man. No pressure on no one, man. When it's time for them to arrive, they'll be here, man.
You're telling me there's ballers there?
These kids were never late, man. They're never late. When it's their time to arrive, they'll be there. I promise you, man.
Okay.
Yeah, man. No pressure on anyone, man. These lot, they've got it.
Let's see. Let's move on to the weekend's fixtures now. Obviously, there's still some internationals tonight. A few big games, but we don't really want to be talking about too many of the internationals. We got our boys both back in action this weekend. For everyone that's watching, he's a United fan.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's tough times for you right now.
No. There's no tough times.
You have a lovely away game to Ipswich, who have kind of taken the Premier. I wouldn't say by complete surprise, but I think people thought they would be the whipping boys so far, and they're doing all right. Kieran McKenna's getting some love and some respect because people are understanding what he's about, and the back-to-back promotions are starting to be like, okay, so maybe they do have a decent gaffer there.
Yeah.
One, what are your thoughts on McKenna as a United guy, because he was with United, and secondly, what do you think of the fixture? How do you see that game going?
Yeah, so in terms of the gaffer there, I think that a lot of people speak highly of him. Like, he spoke highly of before he come to United. Yeah. Came to United, everybody still spoke highly of him. Like, I've not heard many people like come out and criticize. And you can I tend to say with people, the proof's in the pudding. Like, you see when you see people play, when you see the teams play, individuals, do they know what they're doing? Do they know what they're up to? Yeah. Are they able, with the squad that he's got at Ipswich, he shouldn't be causing as many surprises as he is. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? But obviously they got their first win not too long ago, and since then, they're always scoring goals, they're always creating. He hasn't just come and sat back and defended. Like, they've got a style of play, some good quality in certain areas as well. Like, I've been surprised by Delap. and how well he's taken, because he didn't necessarily have a he didn't necessarily take the championship by storm.
That's
you see what I mean?
What I was thinking as well, because I always looked out for him because I used to play football. I play Foot Manager. I don't know if you play Foot Manager, but I remember there was a season. It was in lockdown actually when I was playing Foot Manager, and I signed him on loan.
Okay.
I signed him on loan, and I was like, okay, he was deemed to be a wonder kid. So when they deem that on Foot Manager, you're like, okay, so I'm gonna
watch these kids,
and just watch. And it's mad to see like his progression. But then when I saw him last season go out on loan to I think Stoke in the Championship, as you were saying, he didn't really do much. He didn't set it alight.
No,
basically. So I was like, ooh.
I think like looking at him, like physically, he's so much bigger than he was.
Bigger there?
Like a few years ago, because he's been on a couple of loans.
Yeah.
And like he's way bigger now than he was obviously there, and he's like physically he's a lot more compatible with what's needed in the Prem. And like he's reaping the rewards of it. Like sometimes he plays, other times I can't remember the other striker they've got.
Is it Smodic?
No, not Smodic. He's another tall guy. I'm trying to think who it might be. It's the kid who. It's another kid who's at United. Bought him from Sheffield Wednesday. This is really crazy. Yeah. He's like a wonder kid. He's like another one that they'll take a wonder kid. I'm trying to think of what his name is. We'll get there, man.
We'll get there. Let me see if I can.
Trying to think what his name might be, but he they mix the two of them, and like so when the lap's coming on, he's always fresh and he's a problem. Do you know what I mean?
Would it be? Is it Ogbene?
No.
Al Hamadi?
No, it's Let me have a look.
Yeah, have a quick look for us.
Yeah, let me have.
But anyway, you're saying that he's a handful as well.
Yeah,
you're impressed with the lap, and you've obviously been impressed with it. So, what are you saying about the game? What do you think it's going to be?
New gaffer bounce, man.
So you think it's going to be a W?
Yeah, new gaffer bounce. There's at this moment in time, right? So, like, you got to remember, there's been dark times where I've been. Yeah, there's been dark times where I've been. Right, we've rid ourselves of what I can describe as a horrible time. Yeah. So now it's time. Everybody shows up. No excuses. I don't want to hear nothing about George Hurst is his name.
Okay.
Don't want to hear nothing about right. We're playing Ipswich. The players aren't up to it. The players aren't giving this. No. New manager, new way of doing things. Everybody digs deep, and if those players dig deep, they win games like this. Easy. Yeah.
Games like this. That's the
key point. No. But they win when they dig deep. They beat Man City. Yeah. Do you see what I mean? Yeah. And that's Man City best v best in the cup final. Dug deep and won it. So you know about this group of players that if they work to their best, if they give their all, they're capable of something. Yeah. I'm not saying they can beat Man City week in, week out, but they're capable of something. Do you see what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is it's an opportunity where you're going to catch these players at their best, I think.
And what are you saying? What do you think the score's going to be?
I'm not sure, because I don't know what you just don't know what the gaffer's going to do.
You're definitely saying it's going to be a United win?
Yeah, I think United will score 2 or 3 goals.
And for you, does Yoro come straight back into the team? Apparently he's
only if he plays a back 3. If the gaffer's going straight into, because everyone's saying he's going to play 3-4-3. Okay. Right. So if he plays 3-4-3, then back 3.
Who's your 3 then if he's doing that?
I think you have to play Yoro, De Ligt, and then Martinez. Okay. Like as a 3, yeah. I think that's the strongest 3 that you have. Yeah. Like, do you know what I mean? I think you have to play those 3. That's what I would do.
Definitely. I mean, my boys, we're at home to Forest. Interesting. Yeah. Because obviously they've been flying. Obviously they got humbled a little bit by Newcastle before the international break. Newcastle seemed to be picking up a little bit since I spoke about Isak on here and saying that he's been poor. He's turned his form around, and that's the catalyst for Newcastle. He's one of the main guys there. Yeah. Like him, Gordon, Barnsley can come on and do a thing as well. Like now he's back from injury. They have options. Joe Linton chipping in. Yeah. Bruno obviously is stellar in there, but he does what he needs to do. But going back to Arsenal Forest, that's going to be a tough game. I'll be real. And
Forest are a different team nowadays, man. They're got some confidence. Got some confidence. Devastating out wide. So, I mean, and when they take off 2, they bring 2 on just as devastated. Yeah. And then obviously Chris Wood, all he needs is chances.
Yeah, he got a hat-trick the other day as well.
I like Chris Wood, man.
I know they were playing, I can't remember who it was, like 7-0 they ended up winning, yeah. He got a hat-trick. But as a striker, that's what you need. You know what it is.
Like chances, man.
Boy. When you're high on confidence, so he's going to be coming into that Arsenal game off the back of scoring a hat-trick.
The only thing that'll save you is
we're at home. We're at home. That's probably one of the saving graces because we don't tend to lose many at home, and we're not terrible at home.
No,
but we haven't been very entertaining at home, and that's my only worry because Forest, Nuno will go there with a plan and set up, and if he executes that plan, they'll frustrate us.
It's all getting a bit tough for you, man, isn't it?
And we can't. We have to win. That's mad that we're saying this at this stage of the season, right? But we have to beat Forest.
You guys are gone from just happy to be there, just happy to challenge, happy to do this, right? You're now at a state where, like, this. I've seen now the stats, innit? Like, you're in November and you're talking about have to win, like, bro, that's mad. That's mad to feel that way. That like have to win. Can you imagine? Like,
that's what City do as well.
But this is City ain't even top.
City in Premier League.
City ain't even top. Everyone's chasing City. Liverpool are out there flying.
I think because everyone thinks and knows what City have done in previous years, they're expecting them to just come back. But obviously, Ali and his boys are.
I think everyone just needs to relax at Arsenal, man. Everyone's so stressed. Like from the first loss, manager rattled, talking about trust me, the boys will be up for the next game against Liverpool.
Yeah, that was.
Then you go over to Liverpool, you're up for the first half. He's up for it.
Yeah.
Like second half, just.
I think it's the fans that create a lot of that panic as well.
Yeah, but do you remember? I'll never forget the game where you played against Southampton a few years ago, before Southampton got relegated.
Yeah.
Where I can't remember if you won the game in the end 4-3, but you was like 3-1 down.
Yeah.
Everybody left.
I remember that game.
Everybody left 3-1 down. Right? They emptied the stands.
2 seasons ago.
Right? They emptied the stand. Everyone who wanted Arteta gone. Right? They're walking out, stands empties, come back to 3-3, everyone's back in the stadium.
Reaction.
Right? Crazy. I think it's just too much extremism.
Yeah.
Like when you win, you're amazing, you're the best. When you lose, it's you must win now in November.
Do you think it's because man hate Arsenal as well? So the hate piles onto the fans get pressured, the fans feel stressed, and they're just like, we need it, we need change, we need to get it, we need to get him.
You're not gonna get any sympathy from me, man. No way. I think like United, when I look at it, it's one of those, man, reactionary.
Yeah.
Like just like I also believe a lot of it's because you've never done it. Like a lot of you guys in what's it, 21 years now, 20 years? Yes, right? So you haven't done it consistently for a while. And the longer and longer, like United fans are starting, it's about 13, 14 years for United fans. Yeah. Like they're starting to get a little bit reactionary in kind of how they are. And first everyone's calm, it didn't matter what manager is in, but under Ten Hag, I went to a few games, I never seen nothing like it, mate. People jump, like the semi-final against Coventry, people leaving the stadium. Really? Like jumping out, going crazy, like getting really irate, booing players. Like I ain't never seen nothing like it.
And that was under Ten Hag. So
so do you know what I mean? People get frustrated. People do get frustrated from time to time. Like I'd never seen it at Man United until then. Yeah. So what I'm saying is time. Like you forget what it's like when you were doing well. You forget how calm you have to be throughout a season. How relaxed you can be, like when you're winning games, and like how you could. There were seasons where United in December were like 12 points off. But you knew in May they'd be 1 or 2 points and challenging to win it by the end. You know what I mean? Or 3 points ahead.
Mentality.
Right. Nobody panicked. Whereas in this situation now, you get clubs like Arsenal, you get clubs like, I don't know, Aston Villa were top for ages and doing well. But then they started losing a couple of games and all of a sudden everyone's like, oh no, there's no top four, there's no this. Like, it's November. Anything's possible. The same games you lose, your competitors will lose at some point. Like, do you know what I mean? If you stay true to the process and follow, you should be fine.
Stay calm.
I'm not sure you guys have got the mentality to do it because everything you do is extremist, man. The way you press, the way you fight, the way you battle, the way you defend, everything. You're pumping up the defenders, you're pumping up the fans and stuff like that. You're raising the roof and this like that. Yeah. So when you win hard, you lose hard.
Yeah.
Do you get what I mean?
That makes sense.
Do you get what I'm saying? Yeah, when you win hard, you also lose hard. So then I look at it and I go, I'm not sure. I'm not sure if you can prolong it for, like, he's prolonged it an awful long time.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And there's been a lot of talk of we're gonna win something. Like I think after this year, if you don't win nothing,
that was my next question. Yeah. What are you saying after this season? Is it like, okay, questions? I need answers now.
I don't think he's a bad manager. Like, do you know what I mean? I think the stuff that he does is brilliant. I just don't think you can prolong that over 10 years.
Yeah.
I'm not sure you can prolong that mentality.
How long do you think he
that
has
energy of that before he's gonna have to find another way after this year if he doesn't win.
It has to be after this season.
Because but I would then say, had he won consistently from the start, like,
he'd have credit in the bank.
I think that it keeps energy.
Yeah.
I think that is what buys you energy in the bank. Yeah. But when you're giving your all, you ain't got nothing to show for it.
That's
right.
Killer.
How do you motivate everybody, the environment, to keep going? I think the first time people saw it and you got close, people go, oh wow, all right, next year's the year, we're ready. And then you do it a second time and you get close and they go, that club, Man City, they're out, unbelievable. Yeah, we'll go again. But now the third time, and you're falling off even worse than what you have done before. Yeah. I'm not sure that the third time around everybody goes, oh yeah, all right, fantastic, yeah, let's have it. Like, do you know what I mean? But saying that, remarkable what he's done, because he's taken you from a place where nobody believed to now everybody believes that you should. Yeah. Like, you guys believe you've got the right to it. Yeah. And that's only from the mentality and the environment he creates. Do you know what I mean? So,
stellar job. Yeah. Obviously, questions are going to start to be asked if he doesn't.
Yeah, that's natural, man.
Hopefully, we'll see what happens. But anyway, we need to win against Forest.
I think you do. But Forest are an unknown quantity, man. If they turn up, on them. Yeah, I think they're enjoying that, man.
Yeah, that's the best thing.
I think they're enjoying that.
Back when Leicester had no expectations and no pressure, so it's dangerous when teams have that as well. Let's get it going. My next question for you, Dents, Coach Dents, is: what is your best Manchester United 11, and where do you think you're going to finish this season?
All time best or like best now?
Just now, with the squad that you've got. You're going as Coach Dents. You're going, Ruben, sit down. This is the team I think we need to be playing. Yeah.
Shall we go in the gaffer's form in what they're saying he's going to play, like 3-4-3? Yeah. So if you're playing 3-4-3, obviously Nana will be in goal. Yeah. You'll have Euro, De Ligt, Martinez. Yeah. I think you play someone like Luke Shaw, left wing back. Yeah. I think you play, if not Luke Shaw, then Mazraoui, right wing back. Yeah. I think you'd have Cobby with Ugarte holding. Then it's a 2 and a 1, right? So I would probably have Bruno, Rashford, and then Højlund is what I'd probably play. Okay. If not Højlund, then maybe you go Bruno, Garnacho, Rashford as a top man. Okay. Do you know what I mean?
And do you think that's enough to keep you up there with the rest of the pack?
More than enough in terms of quality. From an 11, I think that quality is more than enough. Okay. I think the problem comes every time you see the subs board go up. I don't necessarily believe like the quality remains the same once you make changes. I think that, like, if you look at like a Man City's quality, when they make changes, it's like for like. Yeah. I think that United squad is so, like, you've either got young kids who are up and coming and promising, you've got talented, like, close to top tier players, and then you've got players who have come over, they're in their senior years, they might not have made a big enough of a noise while they've been there, unconfident, like not playing their best football. Like, do you know what I mean? I think those players have to get back to playing their best football. Because like, I think the Leicester game, they brought Lindelof on playing CDM, and he come on, and like you could tell he wasn't confident, wasn't on it, wasn't like feeling like, and I think to play at that level, you've got to be confident, you've got to be feeling yourself. And
playing for Man United.
But look how much criticism he's taken over the years. Look how much, do you know what I mean? Managers come in, they're not playing him. He's not had a good shout of things. He comes back, the caretaker manager's putting him in, giving him a chance and stuff. Kind of tail between your legs. Come on, play in a new position. Like, you don't want to make any mistakes, because it could be right back to that darkness. Do you know what I mean? Whereas I look at it, and I'm saying, like, those type of players, if you can get them to perform, like, they become valuable squad players, man.
Well, confidence, and then obviously you get confidence from playing games.
But that's what Man United was built on back in the day, right? You had your top quality players, and then around them was a core of squad players who they might not necessarily had the same quality as the top players, but in terms of work ethic, in terms of like desire, in terms of like dying for the badge, you were gonna get 10 times out of them what you're gonna get out of anybody else, and like that's what being a good squad player at United is about, man. And I think that. I think they won't survive without it. Do you know what I mean? I think if you can do that, they've got a good chance of being able to push up the league, man.
So that's your 11, and then what's your prediction in terms of end of the season for that best 11?
With 4 points off Arsenal. With 4 points. What's wrong? With 4 points.
So where do you?
I'm just saying with 4 points off Arsenal.
You are.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is 4 points is 2 games.
Yeah.
Right? And it's November. Same way I'm saying to you, the season's not over for you guys because you guys are where you are and it's November.
Okay.
Top 4's not off for us. Okay. And it's November.
So
right?
Potentially
nice run of games. Do you know what I mean? Go on a nice run of games, start to breed confidence, go and upset a few of the bigger teams who are in higher places than us. Do you know what I mean? It's on the map. Do you know what I mean?
Top 4 is probably the expectation.
That's got to be
what I'm hearing from you.
For me, that's got to be where we minimally, like every year, until you feel like you've got a squad capable of winning it. That's got to be the standard. We have to be playing Champions League football if we're a club like that.
I think Amarin's got a hell of a job on his hands if he's going to deliver top 4.
Yeah, I think it's a mad job, but I think that it's one where if you get certain things right, things will start to fall into place. And I think that that's the biggest thing that a lot of managers that have come in, they haven't got the simple things right, in my opinion. Don't get me wrong, I'm outside looking in. Haven't necessarily been able to get the things going in the right way that will help them. And then longer term, it's caused issues that have meant that it's not been a chance for them. Do you know what I mean? To be successful.
I hear what you're saying.
Got to give this guy a chance to get things right, man.
And he's got 2.5 years, I think.
Is that what the contract is? Yeah.
2.5 years.
That's nice.
Let's see what he does for you, man. So, as we're wrapping up the episode, you were a striker. Like I said, you gave me shades of Adriano back in the day. Pin man, that shot power was crazy. The left foot was crazy. So, I think the only question that I need to ask you, or that I want to ask you, is, can you give me your top 4 strikers? Past and present.
So I obviously wrote down 7. You know what I mean? Yeah, I wrote down 7 because I've gone for the strikers I liked.
Yeah.
So and they're all out and out, right? Okay. So I'm not having none of this coming in from the right, coming in from the left. I'm not having none of this
straight
playing this, that, and the other. Right. It's gunman.
Yeah.
So R9 is obviously up there. That's number 1. Yeah. Andy Cole's number 2, right? Yeah. Aguero, number 3.
Yeah.
Benzema, number 4.
And these are this is in order of your personal favourite strikers.
I'm not sure if I put them in
order.
Not in
order, okay.
I'm not sure if I put them in order.
Right.
I think I'm just throwing
just
out.
Reeling off.
They're the 4, right? Man. If somebody said to me, right, you're playing a game, you're in the last minute of the cup final.
Yeah.
This player has to go through and score a goal.
Yeah.
That any of them 4 go through is a goal.
Okay.
Right?
Give me the 4 again. Go on. So these man, so like you said, you built it up.
Yeah.
Gaffers, Coach Dents is going, I need to bring on a goal scorer. We're 1-0 down. I need to level up the game. You're turning to Aguero.
R9.
Yeah.
Aguero. Andy Cole. Benzema.
Solid.
Yeah?
Solid.
That's what I'm saying. This is a proper guy. I couldn't even go present.
Okay.
I couldn't even look at the present, man. There's nobody in the present can touch the old school when it comes to playing. When it comes to striker, obviously Lewandowski's on here. He's still playing.
Yeah, let me hear the others.
Lewandowski's still playing. Yeah. He's on there.
36.
But bro, some of the things he does, like how efficient he is. He's like a robot when it comes to finishing. Like I watch a lot of his clips. And like the things that he does, like the reaction time. It's like habit. It's a sequence. It's a pattern. It's not by chance. It's a sequence. It's a pattern. So I've got Inzaghi.
Whee! Which one?
Filippo. No, Simone.
No, sorry.
Yeah, Filippo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The old school.
Bad boy striker. Bad boy striker, Filippo. And then George Weah.
George Weah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Proper. I remember watching George Weah when I was a kid. First striker I ever saw play football.
Yeah.
I used to watch Channel 4 used to do that Football Italia.
Yeah.
Right. So I used to watch that, and George Weah used to be on it all the time, man.
Banging.
Used to just see him banging. Bro, my favourite. Honestly, man.
So out of that list that you've just given me, is he your favourite striker?
Nah.
Who's your favourite out of that?
R9, man.
R9.
Yeah. I've never seen anything like it, bro. Yeah. Everything I used to see, bro, the clips, like I used to obviously watch a lot of his games, like Football Italia. I used to then watch Madrid and that, like. It all coincides with like the different type of cable that you would have had when you was young.
Trust me.
So do you know what I mean? Like,
access to.
Right, do you see what I'm saying? So like every little bits will give you that opportunity to see him, man. And like I got to see a lot of him, man. I remember him playing at Old Trafford. Like these times he's coming back from injury and he's put like my idols, he just burnt them all, man. It's hat trick. Scores a hat trick, standing ovation. Like
Champions League used to go on ITV.
Yeah. Scored in the all black Real Madrid Siemens kit, bro. Comes on.
What a game.
Like he's playing the game. He absolutely terrorizes the back for Rio Ferdinand. And at that time, I thought Rio Ferdinand was up there, top. Made him look silly.
Yeah.
Like, do you know what I mean?
And when man are doing that to your star boys, your star defense, you have to stand up and appreciate. You're like, rah. It's like when Ronaldinho came to Stamford Bridge and he put on a show.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Excellent.
Like it's crazy.
Bad boy, real bad boy.
It's crazy, man. It's crazy. Like when you see certain things like that, man, you just have to put your hands up and literally. Do you know what I mean? These players are top, and you know why they're top. They're showing it every week in, week out, man.
That's the serious list of strikers, though. But yeah, thank you very much, mate. We're gonna wrap things up now. I've appreciated you coming. Yeah. You made a little journey as well. So again, we're getting guests that are making a little journey to now come on the.
Trust me, man. Anything for you, man.
Appreciate that, man. That's love.
Yes, bro.
So thank you very much for coming on,
Anything
bro.
for you, brother.
And I'm sure we'll have you on again before the end of the season because it's a long season.
Trust me, man. We'll do something.
Brother.